Hi, welcome. Mari Stotts Pratt here to talk to you a little bit more about Research Log. Today I am going to show you how to actually fill out the research log because I'm worried that maybe you looked at the form and thought, I have no idea what this is. It's probably not that important. I'm not going to do it. It is important and you do need to do it. So I am going to show you how. So come with me and I will walk you through how to fill out a research log.
Okay, so this is the research log that you can find on my website. So all you need to do is go to my website and go to the resources page. And from there, you can download Mari's research log. When you do that and open it, it will look just like this. So for this example, I am going to show you how I would research one of my ancestors. We're going to choose my ancestor. Her name is Lily Lee Field. And the objective, I really just want to learn anything I can about her. So learn about her life and family. Sometimes your research objective might be more specific, like find a birthplace or find a birth date. So that's where you would put your objective, is right here. The surname subject is just for organizing. If you have a lot of research logs and you organize them differently on your computer, you can do that. So for my surname, I, in capital letters, would write field, and then I would file this in the field folder. But that's up to you. And I know she lived in Texas, so that's where I will be focusing on for the locality. So let's get started looking at some records. I'm going to minimize my research log and keep it on the side of the page so that I can fill it out as I go along. So right here we have the family search page, and we are going to go to search records. We'll type in my ancestor's name, Lily Lee Field. She was born in Texas in 1904. Okay, then you can just search, and it will bring up all of the records that they have that mention Lily Lee Field. So right now I'm interested in knowing anything. So we'll just look at this first entry. It's Lily Lee Field as the mother on a Texas birth certificate, and her spouse is Jesse Frank Pope, and her child is Betty Jean Pope. And this is actually my grandma, Betty Jean Pope. So I know that this is the person I'm looking for. When you click on the name, you get a indexed entry, and you also can see the original here. So already in my research log, I'm going to write in the date, present date, and you can fill that in with the actual date, and then the repository or call number. So this would be, I'm looking at family search. If you would like, you can copy and paste the actual URL of where you're finding this from. URLs sometimes do change, so it may not always be active, but it's a good thing to have if it's a website that you don't typically visit or a website that is hard to navigate. Then you might want that complete URL. Family Search does a really good job at making their collections pretty easy to navigate. I might copy the URL if it was a record that I had to look up because it wasn't indexed. So that's up to you. The title or description of the source. So this is where you want to put the information that you would need to find this source again. And Family Search will often have a citing this record source citation. So if you want, you can just copy and paste the whole thing over. But it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't know what this means. So the Texas birth certificates 1903 to 1935 is your collection. That's what this collection is called, where you'll find the actual certificate. And then this gives the abbreviated URL. It has a date here of when it was put in their system, and then it will give you some information here. This is kind of the information that I would put also in my remarks and results. So I just kind of copy that right over. And you would have the actual certificate number and where the information originally came from. So this is a complete source citation. If you needed to put it in a report, you would have most of the information you need right there. Then for remarks and results, that's what you find out from the record. So it's always a good idea if there's an original to go to the original record and take a look. So in this case, we'll zoom in here. And we see that this is a form for correcting errors in a birth certificate. So this wasn't actually the birth certificate that was filed at the time of birth. And you can see here that the mother is the informant for this certificate and that she had 3 children. So some of the information that you might want to include is that this is a correction affidavit. So I would put a little star and say corrected birth certificate for Betty Jean Pope. You might also want to include it was signed by Lily Pope, her mother. And you might also want the date on 22nd October 1948. You may want to include any other information that you find interesting. So you could include the father's name. So Betty's father was Jesse Frank Pope. You have up here that she was born in Rock Springs, Edwards, Texas already. You have the date of birth for Betty and information that Lily Lee was a housewife. So you might want to put that. So you can continue to look at this record and find out what you want to add in your remarks and your results, and if there's anything that helps you. Sometimes, though, you'll run across searches where you don't find your ancestor at all. So I have been looking for an ancestor of mine in the 1880 census, and she is nowhere to be found. And so in my research log, I would enter the date that I searched the 1880 census, which repository. So it's important to search all of the ones that are available to you. So not just Family Search, but also check Ancestry and any other websites that might have those records that you need. And then a description of the source. So the 1880 U.S. Census, and then remarks and results. If I don't find anything, that doesn't mean I don't record it on my research log. It just means that I type in, I didn't find anything, or she wasn't under that name. Here are the search terms I used. Here's her name, her birthplace, and her birth year. And that will help you know how you searched and where you searched and that you didn't find anything. So you either need to search a different website or you need to search with different search terms to help you try to find your results. And if you can keep track of all of the ways that you've searched and whether you found something or not, that will help you if you have to leave your research and then come back to it later. This section right here for document number, that's if you are trying to keep track of copies of the original documents. So on Family Search, you can download this image. I would want to download it and store it in a folder that says, Lily Lee Field. And I would give it a title and a number. So Betty Jean Pope, corrected birth certificate, document 1. And then I would go here and I would put 1. And so then I would know if I want to see this original in my files, I have to look for the document that's numbered 1. So that's just a tool for organizing. It also helps you later if you decide you want to write up a report. So this is basically how you would fill out a research log, and you can add as many rows as you want. I recommend that you keep a research log for each individual or family group that you're researching. If you try to make it for all of your lines and all of your research, it's going to get jumbled and you're going to be confused about which family you're working on. So depending on what your research objective is, that should indicate what information goes on your log and who should be included on it. So hopefully I've demystified research logs a little bit and you're feeling confident in your abilities to use them. If you haven't, please go download the research logs and use them every time you sit down to do research. And best of luck.